from our October trip, which was a blast. So we have decided to cruise full time. But in order to do that, we have a lot of projects to do and a lot of tasks that need to be done first.
First thing on the list, sell the house. We ended up putting our house on the market right away, and it sold almost immediately, quicker than we expected. So that's good.
Next on the list, renovate the condo. The condo is this adorable space right on the beach with the best view, besides the one on the boat. And we got it at a great deal, and we decided to renovate. We took the thing apart ourselves, all on the inside, and we totally refitted the whole place. Absolutely love it. So now we have a cute little land base, and it works out perfect for us.
Next thing on the list to be able to cruise full time, quit my job. I worked out an agreement to work remotely until October of this year, and then we'll see what happens after that. But for now, we're free.
Okay, the next thing on our list was the refrigerator. We have been wanting to replace the fridge on our boat. The one that we had before was like a dorm room regular fridge, and we needed a fridge that could run off of shore power as well as our solar panels, and that's what we did.
Done. Next on the list was relocating the freezer. We have a portable freezer that has always been stored just wherever we could put it, and it needed a real home. So we found a spot in the guest cabin, rewired it, and it looks good.
Next on our list was to relace the trampoline. We replaced the trampoline a couple years ago, but the lacing on it seemed to be not tight enough for the trampoline, so we needed to tighten it. And in order to do that, we also looked into the different ways to lace it. And so we relaced the trampoline. Now it's nice and tight, and it's quiet when we walk on it now too.
Done.
One of the big things that we really needed to do on our boat was to replace the bimini enclosure. When we first bought the boat, there was partial enclosure, and we had replaced the bimini, so then the enclosures didn't really fit. So that was a big project that we needed to organize for. Anyway, we called a company, they came out, they did the measurements, they made all of our new panels, and now we have a fully enclosed helm station, cockpit area, and it's nice.
Done. On our October trip, our solar panels didn't seem to be working very well. So on our list was to put brand new solar panels in and 2 new charge controllers. Night and day difference. The new panels are a lot more efficient than the old ones, and seems to be working good.
Before going on our big adventure, we needed to replace our head sail. So we went out, we took our old one down, made the measurements, ordered the new one, and now we have a new head sail.
Done. We decided to haul the boat, and during that time, we put fresh bottom paint on the boat. Last time I did it myself. This time I hired a company to do it, just because we had so many other projects to do at the same time. So, new bottom paint.
Hooray!
Done. While we had the boat out during the bottom painting, we pulled the rudders and replaced the rudder bushings. The old bushings seemed to be okay, but there was a little bit of a noise in the rudder, so we thought we would check it out, and while they're out, we put new bushings in. Done. Since we ordered a new head sail, we thought we would pull down the roller furler and give it a good look over. And while the roller furler was down, we decided to change out the head stay. Everything looked pretty good. We did add some new set screws to the roller furler to tighten up the sections. But now we're good for the new head sail, the roller furler, and head stay. Done.
Another thing we've been needing to do is replacing the deck light. We have a steaming light and a deck light, and we needed to replace those. Well, they didn't always work. Sometimes they worked, but they didn't always work. So now that's done. We're ready to go. Ooh, one of the big things I wanted on this boat was an electric toilet. Oh my goodness. Going on a trip and my shoulder would start to hurt. But you know, it was kind of a workout, I guess. But now all we do is press the button.
Done. Another thing on our October trip we saw, the deck organizers have little pulleys in them, and all of those pulleys have been worn out over the years. So we took the deck organizer apart, I made brand new pulleys, put it back together, they work like new.
While we were having the bimini enclosure done, we also had that same company make us new helm seat cushions. Now they're nice and shiny. Brand new.
Going to live on the boat full time, we decided we needed a lot more storage on the boat. So being a catamaran, as you walk down the stairs into the hulls, there's two large hallways that had no real purpose before, so we built some storage cabinets along the hallway. It has bookshelves on the top, cubbies in the middle, and hanging storage on the bottom. Did it in both hulls, looks great.
Love it. While cruising, it's really important to be safe on the boat. You never know if there's going to be some kind of bad weather or if you are out sailing at night. You need to really be safe and keep yourself on the boat at all times. So we added, they're called jack lines. We added these jack lines, and with that we can hook up our safety harnesses and our PFDs while we're walking about the boat, and that way if something should happen, a rogue wave, I don't know, then and we get washed off the boat, we're still attached.
Done. Another piece of safety equipment that we needed on the boat was a personal locator beacon. It's a small device that clips onto your harness or your PFD. If you fall overboard, or even if the boat becomes disabled, you can activate the personal locator beacon and you will be found.
Always looking for more storage on a boat. It's really important. So we built more, but we also made something special out of it too. It is a poof, and basically it's an ottoman, and it's going to go in the main salon when we can take our tables out and use that as a footrest, as a poof, as an ottoman, but it's also, more importantly, more storage for storing more supplies, provisioning, whatever we might need. So that works out great on many different levels.
Sticking with the storage idea, in the bows of the catamaran there's very little storage. It's very long and skinny, and at the front it's pretty much dead space. So we built some shelves in the front that store these 12-inch wide plastic bins. So I can stack 5 plastic bins on each bow and use bungees to secure them down. We'll add a lot of storage to the boat.
We have propane on our boat. So what we did now is we cleaned out the propane area, repainted it, and replaced the little solenoid thing. Jigger.
That's the valve to keep the propane from leaking into the cabin when we're not using the propane.
Pretty important.
That's been updated.
On our boat, we have somehow managed to have a workshop. This guy always needs to have a workshop nearby. So we cleaned out our workshop, and he has added a nice shelf with a vise so that, well, I guess you always need a vise?
I have lots of vices, but this one is useful if you need to work on a water pump or anything where you just need a third hand or something to help work on the item. But the bench and vise will come in very handy. Done. We also replaced the Traveler cam cleats. The little pulleys at where the cam cleat makes a 90-degree corner were worn out, so we took those apart, made new pulleys, put it back together. Those are good to go. On our long trip, we're going to be going to probably quite a few marinas, and the boat is an older boat, so we decided to add an isolation transformer. What this does is separate the boat's shore power system from the boat's systems. In the past, we used a galvanic isolator, which was fine up until 2003, but more recent marinas, that was not working well. So this isolation transformer will solve the problem for any marina we go to. That was important. Just normal maintenance things that we've accomplished. We've replaced the exhaust elbows on both engines, and the exhaust hoses from the elbows to the muffler have been replaced. There wasn't anything wrong with them, it's just that it's been there for a while, and before we go on a long trip, I'd like to get them replaced. They're done. Also in the engine compartment, the engine strainers, where the raw water comes into the boat and then goes to the engine, they were made out of a bronze material. They were probably original to the boat, and there was quite a bit of corrosion on them. So we pulled them out, replaced them with new water strainers, and also replaced the hoses from the through-hole fitting to the strainer and from the strainer to the engine. That should be good.
As we get closer to our departure date, which is, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, not quite sure yet, we have just a few more things that we need to do. One of the big things is we are going to bring our cats aboard. We have 2 cats, and in order to bring them aboard, we need spaces for them. We need a space for their litter box, we need space for their food, and all the extra things that come along with that. So that's one of the things that we need to take care of. We also are getting extra parts. In case if something should break or it gets worn down or whatever, it's nice to have the extra parts on board in case of an emergency, and we can replace it while we're underway. Let's see, what else we need to do? We have to replace the anchor light. That's pretty important. It's not working. So I have to hoist him up the mast and have him replace the anchor light. We bought it. We haven't done it yet though. That's next on our list.
Water filters.
Oh, our water filters. And that always needs to be cleaned up, replaced, and done before we go on any trip. And that'll be one of the last things we do.
Done.
Done.
Just repainted, cleaned up the propane locker and replaced the solenoid.
I don't even know what a solenoid is.
It's the little turn-off thing whenever you turn off the propane to keep all the gas out of the cockpit.
Solenoid?
Solenoid.
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 Oh,
Propane valve.
You fixed it.
Replaced it.
You replaced it.
Right.
Okay.